Greetings, fellow airsoft and entrepreneurial business nerds. I am James, your favorite full-time airsoft operations manager. I am the full-time manager of an airsoft field called True Aim, which is in the Sacramento area of California. Airsoft is my full-time thing. I don't have any other job except managing an airsoft field. If you're here because you were searching for like business-related stuff, you don't know what airsoft is, good. Your life is probably better without actually knowing what that is. What you need to understand is that I manage a very niche level business in Northern California, and I do it for a living. I do not have any other job. I don't work, I don't own any other businesses. I don't work any other jobs. I don't have like a 9 to 5, then I do this thing on the weekend where this like airsoft my side hustle. No, airsoft is my main gimmick. This video is going to be part of a 4-video series where I go over my first year of business, some of the things that I've learned. I think I wrote down like 30, 35 or 40 something things. So I decided to do just sort of 5 at a time and cut out some of the ones that were kind of redundant. But there's no real like top 3, top 5. Like, no, dude, like this is a year's worth of business information that I'm going through. So there's no like, if you only learn one thing, like not really. This is just a bunch of really sort of important tidbits, I guess you could say, on what helped me in my first year and how that has transferred over now going into my second year, and sort of how I'm using past practices and way forward and all sorts of other cool terms. Let's get into it. A lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about isn't really industry specific, or if it is kind of industry specific, I will try to break it down so that it's relatable in a general business sense. We're going to kick this one off with something that's really helping my business a lot, which is thinking of as much service-based revenue as possible. For me, that's where a lot of money is. Now, when I mean service-based, let's say you sell a product, right? Automotive, you see this a lot. You buy a new car part, and then you pay the mechanic to put that part in. That's a service. You buy the product, the service is the installation, unless you choose to do it yourself and it's free. You sort of see the same concepts in retail with sort of like a try it before you buy it kind of a thing. Where I'm using this in my business is premium rentals. Let's say I have an airsoft gun and it costs me, the merchant, my vendor price is, let's say $200. Let's say that gun is really popular, or it's cool looking, or it's a highly desirable product. I'm not gonna sell that. I'm gonna rent it out, because if I sell it, I'm only making, and airsoft guns have about an average of 20 to 35% profit margin. So yeah, you'll make some money, but then you gotta buy it again. How long is that gonna take to get that from the distributor? Instead, I charge kids $25 just to play with that gun for the day. My premium rental guns pay themselves off in about 3 months, and then they start making me profit. The only thing we've had to sort of pay for is like if a part breaks, which doesn't happen a lot, or if we want to upgrade the gun so we can now sell that gun plus upgrades, we can do that. But trying to think of as many service-based sources of revenue is really helping my business out right now, particularly with rental stuff. So you look at, like, you go to a bowling alley, they rent shoes, you can buy your own shoes. You're not going to buy your own shoes because you're not going to probably do it that much. Maybe if you start bowling after, a couple months or so, you're like, okay, this is fun. I would like to now be a part of this. I'm going to buy my own shoes. But whenever a customer comes in that's new to your business, and if it's like sort of something like bowling or like a pool hall or a batting cage, they're not going to have their own equipment. You rent it. You rent it out enough times that it starts making you money. Something I always like to do that sort of re-emphasizes doubling down on the community, which I talked about in, I think, the first video, is I sell my competitors. I don't really see anyone around me as a competitor. So there's another airsoft field in Galt called All Patriot, and I love those guys. It's a great field. It's run by great guys that I used to go to dinner and like drink with them on occasion, and just like sort of rant and talk smack about sort of the industry and like our players and kids, and like, oh, when we were growing up, this, blah, 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 and just have like dad moments, and it's funny. But I sell my competitors to my own customers. I will tell them like, hey, did you try, you gone here yet? Have you gone here yet? Have you tried this field? You tried this field? You tried, oh, I don't have this product. Try giving these folks a call. They might have this product. I don't believe in competition. That's not real for me. To me, it's all community. Also, from a business standpoint, this is where it gets, I'm not gonna lie, this is where the water gets a little murky. Let's say my players or my customers go to another field and don't like it. Cool. Then I've just solidified how great my business is. Is that the main reason why I do things? No, but I have noticed that as a trend. Players will go, oh, I kind of want to do something different. Like, it's always kind of the same thing. What do you think I should do? Or they start talking about burning out. Burnout is real. Do the same thing every weekend for, X amount of months, you're going to burn out. I tell them, hey, man, go to CQB City, or go to try GamePod, or go to Combat Zone in Orville. Go try this. Go to All Patriot. Go try this. Go try this. Go try something else and different. And they'll kind of come back and go, I went to that place in the Bay Area. I think I'll just stay here now. Which kind of leads into my next point. Avoid putting anything or anyone down. This is where you sort of have to take your personal biases out and just present your customers and your players with all options. I try to constantly remind myself, and I'm a hardcore airsoft nerd. If you're not into airsoft, just understand that I am so deep in my industry. I'm looking at what's going on at every field. I am a huge industry fanatic. I try to avoid putting other businesses down, even if I don't like them. I'll be perfectly honest, like a personal opinion I have, I don't like going to certain fields because I don't like the way they do business. Maybe I don't like their rules, this, that, or the other, so I won't go there. But if, say, a player comes up to me and they live in the Bay Area or they're moving to the Bay Area, I will still recommend that field or that business to that person because maybe that business has changed since I was there, or maybe that person I'm talking to will actually like that business. Maybe they'll like those rules, or maybe they'll have a great time there. But I don't want to deprive someone of an experience because of my personal bias. I feel like it also, as a manager, as a business person, it seems kind of petty on my part. So that's also why. This is sort of another re-emphasis of doubling down on your community, I guess. I will put my customer's experience before my own profit. I host a monthly specialty or like a theme day that I call MilSim, or Military Simulation Day. It has like a dress code. You have to wear like a military style uniform, and depending on what color or pattern, depends on what faction you go to or what team you're playing on. So I spent money. I'm currently spending money, actually. They just came in today on flags for this one day. So here's one of them. So it's a green Screaming Eagle flag, which is the name of one of the factions or one of the teams. And the other one is Sigma 6. Oh, let me turn this around. There we go. Sigma 6. This cost me 15 or 20 bucks per. So this alone, these two flags probably cost me around 40 to 50 bucks plus shipping. And I have about 9 poles on the field. So the objective is you have to get to the flag pole and raise the flag, boop, 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 and you've taken over the control point, basically. But it's a game. It's kind of like a domination style game if you play Call of Duty. Point being, for an event that I only have once a month, I'm spending money and doubling down on something I'm only going to use once a month just because I think it's cool and because I think it's going to bring value to that one day. Now, from a financial standpoint, from a hard numbers accounting standpoint, there's no way to correlate that me putting these flags up is going to make me more money or attract more or new customers or new business. There's no way you could argue that. This is just making a cake even sweeter, I guess you could say. But what I want my customers to understand is that I care so much about their experience. I don't care if I have to spend $400 or $500 or however many hundreds of dollars on flags for a monthly event, because it seems cool to me. So if it seems cool to me, maybe they're gonna be like, this one event is real great. I win. That's a win for me. Again, that sort of goes back into like doubling down on your community. But more specifically, I like to try to put my customers' experiences before my profits. Now, there's probably other ways that I'm never going to do something like that. For instance, kids keep asking me to put like old rusty out cars and like old vehicles that don't work, inoperable vehicles on the field, I'm not doing that. That's where I draw the line, because that will cost thousands of dollars and it'll just create more problems. And that's where I'm like, no, that's where I'm drawing the line. I'm gonna end this video by doing something I try to do as much as possible. Do fun shit. Sometimes you have to look at like your business or what you're doing, and especially from a management standpoint, no matter how much of a dream job you have, because it's a business and you're involved in it daily, you're gonna get bored. You have to find ways to do fun shit for your business. Even if it's doing something like buying, silly flags, or doing a fun themed day or game, or taking your employees out to lunch. You have do fun shit. All right. If you have a successful business, you should have plenty of money, or enough money to do some kind of fun shit. Do fun shit.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?